Now let's talk about dividing decimals. Let's start with something like 43.7 divided by 0.2. This would become 43.7 underneath our division bar symbol divided by 0.2 out front. But we're not allowed to divide by numbers that are not whole numbers. So what we're basically going to do is multiply each of these numbers by 10. Basically, we're multiplying by 10 over 10. If we had 43.7 over 0.2 and we were to multiply by 10 over 10, we would be multiplying each of these by 10 and moving the digits one place to the right. That's what we're doing here now. So we would now have 437, the whole number, divided by 2. And I'm going to put a decimal after that 437 and raise it up and put a couple zeros after it just in case we need it. We then begin the division as we know how to do it. How many times does 2 go into 4? Answer, 2 times exactly. 2 times that 2 is 4. Subtracting it 0, we bring down a 3. How many times does 2 go into 3? The answer is 1 time. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtracting it 1, then we bring down a 7. How many times does 2 go into 17? The answer is 8 times, and we get 16. Subtracting, we have 1, and we bring down a 0 to the right of the decimal. 2 goes into 10 5 times exactly, and so we get as our quotient the answer to a division problem, 218.5. Let's raise the bar of difficulty a little bit. We're going to take 4.372 and divide it by 0.19. To begin with, we cannot have this decimal out as our divisor, so we're going to need to multiply by 100, moving that decimal 2 places to the right, and we will do the same thing underneath this division bar, and then we would bring that decimal up. This problem now turns into how many times does 19 go into 437.2. Now, this is not a comfortable number for us. For estimation purposes, we will pretend this is 20. How many times does 20 go into 43? Answer, 2 times. But it really isn't a 20. I actually have to do 2 times 19 to get 38. Subtract and get 5 and bring down the 7. Now it turns out that 19 goes into 57 3 times exactly. And we'll have no remainder. But the problem's not over because we still have this 2/10 that needs to be brought down. How many times does 19 go into 2? The answer is it doesn't. We put a 0 at the top. And we're not done, so we need to bring a 0 down, add another 0 into the problem, and we have 20 here. How many times does 19 go into 20? The answer is 1 time, and we would then subtract 19 and get 1. And the question then becomes, how far do we take this out? That depends upon the directions. If it just says divide, we have to keep going and going and going until we get to a final answer. Or in which case we find that there is a repeating decimal. If the problem says round your answer to the nearest hundredth, well, it looks like I'd have to go one more position. I have something in the hundredths column, but I have to have one digit after it to round to the nearest hundredth. So in this case, I would bring down another 0. 19 goes into 10. Uh-oh, no, it doesn't at all. So if rounded to the nearest hundredth, 1 is in the hundredths column. The 0 after it would tell us to round down, and we would have 23.01 as our answer, rounded to the nearest hundredth. And usually we say our answer is approximately 23.01, and we write a squiggly equal bar instead to say that this is approximately 23.01 instead of exactly 23.01. Now let's try 1.7 divided by 99. 99 is a whole number already, so I don't have to move the decimal at all, other than straight up. And I'm going to put a couple zeros in here because I don't know how many I might need. And we begin the questioning process. How many times does 99 go into 1? And the answer is, it doesn't. How many times does 99 go into 17? The answer is, it doesn't. 170? Okay, there we go. It goes in 1 time. 1 times 99 is 99. We will subtract and get 71. We will then bring down our next 0, and we ask, how many times does 99 go into 710? Well, if we think of this as a 100, because 99 is close to 100, it goes into 710 7 times. So we're going to put a 7 at the top here. We might have to go to the side and perform 99 times 7 to see that that is equal to 693. Subtract off this 693, and we end up getting, after borrowing, 17. We bring down a 0, and then we say, okay, how many times does 99 go into 170? At which point we go, hey, I've already answered that question. It happens 1 time. And we realize that we're going to repeat this process of 1 followed by 7, 1, 7, 1, 7 over and over and over again. And so we put a bar right over just the 1 and the 7 because those 2 digits will be repeating. Our answer here is approximately 0.01711717, but it's equal to 0.017, and I can put a bar over those, and then it's actually equal to this repeating decimal.